Definitely no need. In the meantime, he's
In
lit.
the meantime,
Like,
Yeah.
that's,
all right, fire burner, buddy.
Is it?
Ah,
yeah,
man.
man.
I can tell
Back
you one
back at
thing.
it again. Back at it again.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
sir.
Back at it again, man. And them Cavs trying to come back, man. I can tell you that much. But you know what I mean. Before we even get started, you know what I mean. Let's let everybody know who we are, man. Welcome. This is Off the Parkway podcast. I'm one of your hosts, James. On my left and on my right, we got the Newark brothers, Big Sue and Jamal. How y'all fellas doing?
What's
Good,
up?
good, good.
Yeah, man. I'm good. Nice day today. Coming off the weekend, been pretty busy with the kids and stuff like that. But man, can't call it, man. Pretty good, pretty good.
Definitely. Yeah,
How you
same
feeling,
here.
Pretty good.
Yeah, I'm definitely I was excited about the last 2 days, but I don't get too hyped about the weather because then I go back and look at the forecast and it's gonna be 65 and stuff like that. So it's gonna drop
Tomorrow.
back down. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
But besides that, everything is cool. I'm looking forward to the weekend. Like I said, trying to get some intentional relaxation. I kind of adjusted the schedule so I could do that. So yeah, man, looking forward to the weekend, man. Maybe even getting a chance to see that Michael Jackson joint because I haven't seen it yet.
Mm.
Hey, that's a good thing you said here about intentional. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So for our supporters out there and future supporters, I hope y'all intentionally hit that like button, subscribe, comment, share with family and friends, man. We are still here. We're still giving out the content. This is episode 39. You know,
39.
39,
One away from the 40.
you know what I mean? So,
That's
you
on the
know,
West
I've been
Side
hearing,
40s.
What's
yeah, I
up,
hear a
homies?
lot of people
Get
say,
them right up on them. Boom, bam. On a dead home. Oh,
We
man.
we gonna get in trouble for that one.
Yeah.
Oh
Hey,
shit.
I was my son. He was like, I didn't even know this. He's like, Dad, y'all hit triple digits on the subscribers. I said we did.
I look today. It's like yeah, I look today.
That's
Yeah.
what we did. He said, yeah. He said, y'all subscribers going up. I said, all right, that's what's up, man. He said,
Yeah.
I'm tell my friends to subscribe. I said, no, don't tell them.
Oh,
I
we
said,
be
don't tell
going
your
off.
friends to do that.
Yeah, some of
Yeah,
my
I said,
people.
don't do that, man.
Yeah, a couple of my people was asking like, "Yo, like that joint is dope, man. How often do y'all like asking questions? How often do y'all record and stuff like that?" It is some requests too, um, about like certain topics, but you know we'll get into that stuff too. But I think people are kind of seeing
yeah,
each of our skill set, and it goes deeper. Some of the topics that they wanted to actually touch. I was about to say touch on, but that sounds crazy. Pause. That they wanted to us to speak about. So maybe in the future we'll do it, but it's definitely exciting to be 39 episodes in. That's great.
Yeah,
uh,
nice.
and for any topics and stuff like that. So, you know, I might as well say this now for any supporters out there, people listening or whatever. If you got anything that y'all want us to talk about or you know what I mean, anything to discuss later on at a later date, just hit the inbox, man, or comment and we'll definitely, you know, review it and address many topics, all the topics that you got. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
Yeah.
yeah,
It's not, I mean, it's not difficult. You know what I mean? Just a little engagement. Hit us up.
Mhm.
That's all.
definitely.
But I'm getting the same feedback from people who, you know, you run to somebody you ain't seen in a while and then be like, but yo, man, I see y'all doing a podcast, man. That's dope, man. Yeah, I was really nailed to point out the particular episode that could have been a couple weeks ago. It was like, oh, dang, y'all are watching, you know what I mean? It's, you know, and you know, I guess it's cool to kind of get a little bit of that because obviously, you know, people might watch, but it ain't like somebody call and say, "Hey, I watch it." But like when you run into people, you know, they see it. So that's pretty dope. So man, you know,
Definitely.
we keep it going. We keep the vibes the way it need to be, man.
Keep the vibes.
Five.
What's this? What
Oh,
this say right here?
Immaculate. What that say? Widen your
Why you?
perspective.
Yeah, man. That's what we doing for our listeners, man. Especially you know, say our boys over there in Vietnam. We can't forget the homies. We can't forget the homies over there in Vietnam, bruh. I don't know what they tapping into in terms of like rocking with us, but shout out to the homies in Vietnam, man.
Shout out, man. Yeah, hey, listen, man. I think we playing. We dead ass, man.
Dead ass.
Like,
Those
shout
the
out to
homies over
the
there.
Vietnam homies, man. They fucking with us the long way. Pause.
But
You know what I mean?
I'm a fuck with you. I'm a fuck with you.
Whoa. That's aggressive right there. Can we slow it down?
Oh man,
Oh, man.
shout out to my homies with them Air 41. Air 41, Air 41 two pair.
Yo, anytime y'all be saying the Vietnam stuff, I think of my man that be in the bushes. They be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh, my man, that be counting. Yeah, that. I'm like, we don't have to get him more. Listen,
We gotta get him more.
We
Here,
get
come on, yeah.
contact with him. It's over. We get a contact. 1, 2, 3, 4. Happy birthday.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna go to his
right
page.
there.
I'm gonna go to his page. He gotta come on the show.
Yeah. Dude,
Yeah.
what you think about this topic?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
That's your answer? You count?
For real.
Yo, he be killing me, yo. He be killing with the yo, yeah. I'm like,
Yeah. We got to put him on that. We got to put him on that picture for the episode, man.
Definitely. It's because this whole episode right here is dedicated to the Vietnam homies.
Yeah, man.
Banging out over there.
Man.
Repping the set.
Definitely.
Oh man. But
so man, what we got, man? We got these NBA playoffs. We all in the second round right now. After a very competitive first round. You know what I mean? And like, you know, it was a couple game sevens that happened in the first round, a couple 3-1 comebacks. Pause.
Sure.
So now we in this second round. Man, what we think about the playoffs so far?
I actually think I think this is what the playoffs supposed to look like in terms of like competitive play. Of course you have like, you know, OKC, the Spurs and stuff like that in the first rounds, right? Kind of seemed like they was convincingly winning and things like that. But you know, on the East Coast with these dog fights and things like that, and I think eventually the better teams did prevail. Like Detroit, you know, they was able to get out of that dog fight with Orlando. Even the Knicks won. The Knicks that last win was incredible. Like I turned and I thought like I don't know what I was thinking. Maybe like it was field goals and something like Knicks had this many field goals compared to this in terms of how the score was looking. I'm like this was crazy. But you know, just that's the first round. But I think overall now, even seeing like it was a good game from the Knicks. That first one, and whenever the Knicks is putting on, I just look at it like a Broadway play, and somebody just performing out there, and it seemed like that's what Brunson was doing. I'm actually looking at the game now. We saw it in the dog fight for the second round, but yeah, overall so far, playoffs have been pleasing, fun to watch. I think the stars have came out and performed. I don't think there's anybody who has been a letdown. I didn't expect the Atlanta to do much. They don't have that star power yet, and they pretty young, but they went to 7, so that was cool too.
Who went to 7?
What was 6? My fault. What was you guys? My fault. The Knicks. Where did y'all go? 6. I apologize. My bad. My bad.
Don't put that smut on that name.
Yeah. Man.
I hope it goes 7 this time, and then go home with. You know, I'm a Knicks hater.
Come on, don't do that. Don't do that.
I'm the only one here. But while we doing it, though, hold on, wait a second.
Oh man, here we go.
There you go, that
Oh,
motherfucker.
You know what I'm saying?
Motherfucking pots and pans on his head, man.
You know what I'm saying? Listen, man. Let's say a little Lakers dipset, man.
man, that's
So
it's Cinco de Mayo, so that's a sombrero you got on your head today,
It
man.
definitely is Cinco de Mayo. I just realized that shit.
it was a lot of black, and that should have been one of our topics. It was a lot of black Mexicans out here. It was a lot of black Mexicans that we should not be celebrating everybody holiday, man. But you getting drunk for nothing.
Hey, man, that's our problem, man. We gotta celebrate freaking St. Patrick's Day. We gotta celebrate man, Cinco de Mayo. That next thing we're gonna be celebrating Yom Kippur or something, man. Like all everybody
All
else shit, man.
all of it to get drunk.
But nobody, not one nigga want to celebrate Juneteenth.
Nah,
They done
and you
moved
can
out in.
forget Kwanzaa.
Oh man,
Oh,
I don't even know what Kwanzaa is. I'll guarantee you,
first of
like
all,
with the new the new age. I don't know Gen Z or I don't know what those are, but I know they don't know what Kwanzaa is.
hey, listen,
Nah, not at all.
we so much for other people. We don't even realize that they moved July 4th to Juneteenth. They switched our day. It don't even matter. We ain't got no damn independence out here. We'll get drunk on both of them.
Yeah, black folks just need a reason to go ahead and do some bullshit, man.
That's
But
it.
but just get back
Back
to
to the playoff.
get back to the NBA playoffs though, man. Like yeah, so far so good, man. I think that a lot of times, man, that's the playoffs is just a different game than the regular season. You know what I mean? Everything is
Hmm.
slowed down, physicality goes up, and the refs pretty much pause swallow they whistle. You know what I mean? It's like they let people play for the most part. And I think that's what Detroit, man, like, Cade, he showed, what he is. And, people, I don't know what the health status of Giannis going to be next year or even Embiid, but people talk about Cade might going to be the best player in the East by next year. You know what I mean? And he on that trajectory right now. You know what I mean? And obviously with Tatum too. You know what I mean? So he on that trajectory. But the Knicks, I don't know, man. I'm always very cautious as a Knicks fan, just not to drink the Kool-Aid and get too gassed up by anything. I mean, I've just been let down too many times, so I try not to get too gassed up. But they last 3 games, the last two in Atlanta, and what they did in Philly, they just they just look in sync. They just get
Yeah.
they moving at a different level of speed
Yeah.
and connectivity, and they just look good, and they so fucking deep. Pause. Like that's a deep ass team, yo. I realized how deep the Knicks was last night when everybody all starters was out, but then they still playing Sham and Colin. They still
Yeah.
playing Dear Wall. I'm like, yo, these are all players who at
They
some
play,
point in the season played big minutes.
they play
Yeah.
yeah.
Clarkson, they're bench players are people who played big minutes like throughout the year. So it's just like it's just if somebody get hurt, like if one of the role players get hurt, not so much the starters, but if one of the role players get hurt, it's gonna be a plug and play.
Mm.
We're not
Yeah.
gonna lose much. So
Yeah.
the Knicks look good.
I
Nah.
would
I just want to.
say, yeah, I was wanting to point out, like, in terms of, like, I was watching it from one, you know how, like, in the NBA, how they say nobody play defense, right? But in the playoffs, things get a little more intense, compact in. But however, it's not a lot of individuals who actually know how to play defense. That flex cut that the Knicks are running is extremely hard to guard for people who do know how to play defense. So now you get people who, like, I don't know how much time they spending on it to cut where Jalen Brunson go and screen, and then you get that backdoor cut, like with Cat at the top initiating the offense, right? So now if you choose to pressure
Mhm.
Cat, Cat is actually being aggressive and going by you. If you back off of him, he will shoot your head off, right? So it's
Shoot
actually
your
like it's almost like pick your poison. And one thing that the Knicks got, I always think that they X factor. A lot of people think is heart. The fact that OG is balling at the level that he's balling, like it's almost like I'm looking at it, every shot that he's taking, even the crazy looking ones, is going in. Like he's playing at a very, very high level, and he's
yeah.
difficult to stop. And I think he knows it. But the way, like you said, y'all guys are in sync offensively. Of course, defensively, y'all doing what y'all do, but offensively, it's kind of tough to stop them. And you got Cat at the top making really good decisions. I think as long as he do that, Philly is in trouble.
Surprisingly, the Wolves look really good. You know, what I mean, even with they beat the Spurs, and
Hmm.
Wemby had a very bad game offensively as
Yeah.
far as scoring, but he was all over the place defensively and things like that. But with the Wolves, man, like even them beating winning that first round and beating the Nuggets, you know, that was impressive because they did that without, without, and they definitely short-handed and like
No,
they just like they
and
got.
played.
I'm talking
And
about
played
the
the last
Nuggets
game.
when they played in the
Oh
Yeah,
first round.
Nuggets.
yeah.
Yeah.
He didn't play that last game in the Nuggets. That
Yeah,
was
yeah,
Jay
yeah. No.
McDaniel.
Yeah,
Like
Jaden
Yeah,
McDaniel.
McDaniels.
He got
McDaniels.
hurt. Yeah, like they pulled that out with
Yeah,
Jamal and freaking Jokic on the other side. Like
yeah.
how they pull that out? You know what I mean? In the game 7. They did
Is the
that
sum
shit.
is
You
the
know what I
sumo
mean?
back playing?
No, not yet. He didn't play that
No,
first
no.
game. And
Okay.
they got that fast dude that I don't even know his name, light skinned just like running the point. A little stocky dude.
Shannon.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
Shannon.
he go he everything downhill
Yeah.
with him.
Yep.
You know what
Yep.
I mean?
He
He
tough.
get to that
Bully.
He
bucket,
tough.
you know what I mean? So, but it's that playoff experience, man. You can tell the team that's been in the playoffs and had some deep runs the last couple of years. And so, the Knicks look different. The Wolves look good, and it's gonna show. So we we at a certain point right now. By the time we do the next time we do a pod, it's gonna be interesting to see where everybody at in the second round.
Which
So
scroller? I just want to add this
you
for
didn't mention
P.
somebody.
Oh,
Oh, yeah,
well,
we
here we
did get a
go.
chance to mention the GOAT, but
Yeah. Here we go.
All right.
he did
Before
win that
before
he
we
did
talk
win that
about the
he
Lakers,
did win that series, and y'all did say he was getting swept, but he won that series, man. You know what I mean?
yeah,
But some recognition should be at hand. You know what I mean? Don't take it off now, man. Don't take off that hat now, man. Put that bucket back on.
I tell you right now, he in a dog fight right now. They losing.
Yeah, we losing right now.
I think this is where the party is. But I mean, they need Luca for that. You know what I mean? So like, that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate.
I just wanted to add that what I mean, with the Magic taking that didn't finish the deal with the Detroit, they fired their coach.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So he's out the door. And you know what I mean, to be honest with you, them players didn't show up. You know what I mean? They shot real bad, man. They shot real bad. Desmond Bain disappeared. Franz got hurt. You know what I mean? They left it for old boy Apollo to do it by himself. It was bad. It
So,
was bad to watch
you
those
think
last
that was
three
a
games.
you think that was a you think that was a justifiable firing?
No, I don't. I thought he was a good coach for them. You know what I mean? I just think
Like
that
is it their
he
last seed,
he
like with
Apollo.
the
You said
Yeah,
what?
no,
I think
I
that
said they was the last
and they
seed
said
and made it there.
they
Yeah.
saying the same thing about Quinn Snyder too. You know what I mean? After, the Knicks blew Atlanta out like that, and they was just saying, I know Stephen A was saying that like they wouldn't have even left out that arena with a job. And like, these are teams nobody expected enough from them. Like Atlanta had a big resurgence in Quinn Snyder, leading the charge there, won 2 games, with was able to win 2 games against the Knicks. You got Orlando. They came through the play-in. Everybody was, but they blew that, sure. But like that game before that game 7, where these motherfuckers just missed like damn near 28 shots in a row. That
Yeah,
was crazy. You know what I
yeah.
mean? So, like, is that a coach fault? You know what I mean? Like, it's sometimes, man. I know they be looking for places to put the blame at,
No
but man,
blame game, man.
sometimes the players got to take the accountability. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
You can't. It's tough to blame him for that, man. It is. They are injury riddled team every year, and he still gets
Oh, your
them in the
camera
playoffs.
off.
I know. I'm bringing it back on. I got
Oh,
it.
okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. They're injury riddled team every year, and he still gets them in the playoffs.
Right,
They
right.
just gotta figure some things out over there, and that's just more. I think it's more past coaching. They gotta do some personnel things
Mhm.
because they need to figure out if they're gonna they're gonna keep that Paolo and Franz on the same team. You know what I mean? They got to figure that out because they both get hurt all the time. When one's playing, one does real good, and then the other one comes back, and then they dip off again. Then they added Desmond Bain, and he stepped up a lot, but then he disappeared in the playoffs.
Right.
So you have to do so. And what's their point guard? I forgot. Suggs. He
Subs.
can't shoot worth a damn.
Right, right. I think it's something they got to do, but I think, all right, they get rid of Jamal Mosley. So I think a coach that has some real experience could do something with that roster right there. You know what I mean? Now, I think Paulo still has another level to get to the game he can go to. You know what I mean? I know he likes to handle, I know he likes to do that, but he got to get more downhill. He a big boy, man. He's 6'10", big body, pause. And the Wagner boys, they're good. Sucks. He's a pit bull, Paul. So like, I think if you're gonna keep that together, you can get a coach, and that they can do something. You know what I mean? Just get some more pieces. Outside of that, and see what happens. But
Who you got in mind? Who you got in mind?
I don't have anybody in mind as far as a coach. I mean, I know you hear. I heard Rondo was being a candidate for a coaching job right now. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? Billy Donovan you hear out there.
Right.
But
Jared Jack wants
Rondo gonna end up fighting somebody.
mm,
yeah, Jared Jack wants to coach.
He
no,
is. He's
I
on
mean,
he's on the sideline, isn't he?
yeah,
Yeah.
and obviously everybody, for whatever reason, this is a mystery to us. But behind the scenes, there's got to be some reason. But Sam Cassell still hasn't gotten that shot yet.
That's crazy.
You know what I mean? So like whoever get it, they definitely skipping the line over Sam. And it's not like Sam ain't been interviewing for these coaching jobs. He interviews every year. I don't know what he's saying in these interviews. They like, God damn, like nigga, what? Nah, we good on you. Like he got to be blowing it. Like you know what I mean? Like there's no other reason to like. I don't know, but
Sam a
yeah, I
thug,
don't know.
man. Sam a thug out there,
Shit.
man.
But
Yeah,
Sam can develop players though, man. He's good at development.
that's
So
it.
and that's what they need
Right.
more now than anything because there's so many young players in the league.
Right.
Hey,
You know what I mean? But hey,
Where's
No,
Cole
we gonna
Anthony?
see, man.
Where's Cole Anthony?
uh
Is it
damn.
Utah or
Yeah,
Sacramento or one of those no name
Okay.
places? He in Siberia somewhere.
Okay.
So I'm telling you, it's either gonna be Sacramento.
he's on the Bucks.
All right, that's Siberia. Like Giannis, without no Giannis playing, that's Siberia.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Yeah.
Fucking the Yucatan Peninsula. You can, but yeah,
Oh
man. So what we
man.
got now, man?
Should we what I mean, let's move on here. We can let's well, we in basketball. We can go to Draymond and Austin Rivers. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Did you, Maul? What's going on with Draymond and Austin?
Yeah. No, I just actually finished listening to Austin Rivers speaking, and he was actually going over their careers,
Right,
like
right,
side
right.
by side,
So
right?
So,
So
yeah,
yeah, yeah. So
hit the backstory first.
no, I mean it's the content behind. I mean the context behind it. I think on the Dan Patrick show, Austin Rivers was making some comments. I don't know if he was responding to something that Draymond had said, or like just a take of Draymond that I guess critiquing one of Draymond's takes. But
Yeah, yeah, because
the,
Draymond said that Steve Kerr uh
that's what it
messed with
was.
his game, you know what I mean,
Yeah,
held him back of his
yeah,
game.
yeah, yeah. He said in the sense that Steve Kerr held him back because he said when he think about his game in the past, he was an offensive player. And then, when he got with them, he was made to, everything that he had to do was that's what Steve Kerr wanted to do. So he did it. You know what I mean? And so he said in a sense he felt like he was held back, but he's not to regret it because look what it turned into. We could debate that all day, you know what I mean? But I guess Austin Reeves had, I guess responded to that. He said whatever he said. I think Austin thought he was being complimentary, but at the same time, he was critiquing that take. And Draymond, he got to respond. He got to go. He got to take. He always got to take it somewhere. And then he got on Austin and pretty much was saying that his high school that's where he was his best. College, he was okay. Got to the league as a lottery pick, 10th pick, and did nothing. Got a bailout from his father when he was on the Clippers. Got him his only his best contract, and and went from there. Then to do Austin Reeves. Austin Rivers had replied and was saying, "You talk about bailouts. You're the luckiest player in NBA history. You got drafted to the team you wanted. It happened to be with Steph and Clay, and then the players around them. The coach was Steve Kerr, and then when and then when which race was there, Kevin Durant was there. You ran him off. You ran Poole off. All the stuff. Don't compare our college career because I only was there for 6 months and I left and became a lottery pick. You couldn't do what I did." He said, "Don't compare our high school careers because even though we averaged the same amount, I played on a national level. You played at some high school where you was whatever. I was the number one player in the country, and that's also correct. And there's a
Yeah,
that's
huge difference
correct.
between playing on a national level and
yes, it
playing
is.
just some regular public school. There's a huge difference. So whatever." And that's what it came to. But I don't know. What we think about that conversation or that back and forth.
Well, like one, a lot of this stuff, bro. Like a lot of people, a lot of people is overly sensitive, right, about certain things. Like this is the new era of social media, the new social media, people covering certain things. Like it's crazy because like people are critiquing other people's interviews and comments and stuff like that. Not even critiquing like the actual sport. So that's another thing. But um, Draymond is one of the luckiest players, right? Like he look what he came into. His game was not going to the game that he had from college was not going to be able to be played at Golden State. Now, granted, credits to him for being able to adjust, right, and still have a role after, yeah, being offensive minded, and doing everything. It shows the versatility of his game. It shows that he was able to be coached and to be adjustable in that role and play that role. That has made him a future Hall of Famer. Right, multiple
Mhm.
rings. He got an All Star, whatever in there. So he should. I think Austin Rivers is right in that regard. In terms of their career on the come up, yeah, it's not close because Austin Rivers was that dude. Like I remember seeing like the mixtapes and the highlights, and I'm like, oh yeah, Doc Rivers' son, get to it. All right. Then he went to college and actually did it. It was one and done. That wasn't on his
Mhm.
father. Like he actually did that. Whether or not he got a bailout in the NBA, that's Draymond just kind of just talking slick. But um, I think Draymond was a little too sensitive in that regard, like in terms of going back and forth. It wasn't. I don't think it was really warranted. Um, but yeah, Draymond. we always speak about what Draymond would do if he wasn't with those guys, and we seen it when those guys got hurt, and he had to go out there. He was still getting you 4 and 6 points when people wanted him to get 20. We didn't even care if he won or lost. But he never produced offensively in the NBA, which kind of shows you where his game was at. So, but I just think that Draymond was a little too sensitive. People were gonna have things to say. As a future Hall of Famer, none of this stuff should even be like on your radar. That's why I feel.
I got to take on Draymond, but go ahead when you're done, Maul James.
Yeah,
Then
yeah, I'm
I
done. I'm done. Go ahead.
speak
Go
on it.
ahead. Go ahead.
Well, I know for me, it's always the ones who get sensitive is the one who always ditch out the more punishment. You know what I mean? He always constantly talks about everybody else. You know what I mean? So come on, Draymond. Come on, man. What are we doing here, man? At the end of the day, if somebody got a take, you know what I mean? Just go, you know what I mean? If you think it's not true, just speak your piece. It's never, it doesn't have to be a comparison all the time. And not at the end of the day, your comparison of you being this and that, a lot of people can say it's because of the other players on your team, not because of your own individual accolades. You know what I mean? So come on now. You're all star with those numbers.
And, yeah, remember we kind of had a debate about that when Pat was on, and we talked about Draymond and critiquing about his production and what is he as a true all-star or all NBA player or Hall of Famer and all that stuff. But in regards to this thing right here, like you kind of going where I was going, where I'm thinking, James, and just to expand on it a little bit more, man. Like, with Draymond, man, like he could talk about any and everybody else, and it's okay. But as soon as somebody else critique it, he got to get super personal. And here's the reason why. And it just comes down boy down to the fact that Draymond Green is a bully. Like he's probably been a bully his whole life. You know what I mean? And like when you're older, you're not gonna. It's not gonna manifest itself in physicality as much as gonna be in another way. And and with Draymond, man, he always trying to control a narrative. He always trying to have the last word. He always taking it to a place and trying to justify it in his way and talking down against the somebody else who whatever, and like that dude's a bully, man. And I've never I don't like I think he's a smart dude. I think that he's intelligent. He's a great basketball player in his role. He's a Hall of Fame role player. There's no doubt about that. Like if you put together your top 10 role players of all time, Draymond will fall in that top 5 category. You know what I mean? But like, I just always have a problem with him because I think he wants to be talked about in the same breath as you talk about Steph Curry or Kevin Durant or James Harden or Westbrook or people that's been great in this era. In the era that he's been in, I'm not going to even mention LeBron and stuff like that, but he want to be mentioned with those great players as if his individual impact's the same as theirs, but it's not. You know what I mean? Everybody know what you are. You know what I mean? And you're a great role player, super dope role player. You know what I mean? But you have been benefited to being the team that you've been on, and good for you. But you know better than to leave that place. The moment that he gets traded or he got to go somewhere else, that's going to be the moment he retires. You can
That's the
you can
and,
you can
and
book
if he
that.
and if he play, that's the moment he lose that whatever ballot Hall of Fame status that he gonna get. He definitely better retire
And
Yes.
because
let's not
we
forget
seen it already.
he knows he
Mhm.
knows how to move the needle when it comes down to this media stuff. So
Yeah.
he knows that I'm gonna always talk about the trending topics, and
Mhm.
I'm always gonna argue and fight people online. And people are gonna keep clicking every time because they're gonna want to hear what we're gonna say. because he's always attacking somebody for views, man.
Yeah,
So
no, I agree with that. He knows he's doing with that. You know what I mean? And
he
he
definitely,
jumped into the space because he's definitely prepared himself for when he leaves. Smart guy. Smart guy.
yeah,
I give him that.
very
I give
smart,
him that.
definitely,
To
man.
you, man. What we got next?
Hold on,
Woo,
before
man.
we go,
Go ahead.
first or second ballot Hall of Famer, Draymond.
Listen,
Yeah,
he's definitely not a first ballot in my eyes. You know,
50.
like and if the fact that I guess I've come to grips to understand he's just gonna be a Hall of Famer and it just is what it is. But I don't think he belongs in the Hall of Fame. I just don't. You know what I mean? But if he gonna get in there, it's definitely gotta be second.
Mm,
Mm.
If he gonna
Will it
get in there, he
matter
gonna get in there.
will it matter who else goes?
yeah, it matters who the class is.
Yeah.
You know, the
Yeah.
nominees.
Like
Yeah, it
if
matters.
you compare somebody like Dennis Rodman, right? And Dennis Rodman in the Hall of Fame, stuff like that. And Draymond, okay, so Draymond got what two defensive player of the years?
I think so.
I
Yeah,
believe
Um
so.
two
he got,
he got a bunch of first teams. So all right. You know, I guess when you look at it, he probably got enough that's gonna get him in there defensively. You know, I look at somebody like Rodman. I don't think Rodman ever got Defensive Player of the Year, but he got several, first team all defensive players. He's a very versatile defender, just like Draymond. But Rodman had another skill set, man, and rebounding, and like his rebounding was off the charts. Like, you know what I mean? So like that's something too. You know what I mean? But like, it's just a very uncomfortable spot when it comes to him, man. Like I don't know, but it is what it is.
he
He
got
gonna get in
one.
there.
Definitely.
He got one defensive player of the year.
If the
He got
same
four All-Stars,
Mm,
9-time All Defensive Team,
mm.
2-time
that's
All
just,
NBA.
that the non-time is the biggest thing I think he got going for him. Not even that
Yeah,
one defensive player of the year, because somebody like Tyson Chandler got a defensive player of the year. Marcus Gasol got a defensive player of the year. So every now and again somebody can sneak in for they one. But
and he was steals leader too.
so
Hold
he
on. How
got
many
that one time.
he has an NBA all NBA team? What team? Which one? First or second?
Second, second team and third team. Second team 2016, third team in 2017.
Yeah, he was gonna make it on that one year when they won all those games. There, that whole damn team was gonna make
Yeah.
something on that one. But uh, yeah, man, we'll
Okay.
see.
Okay.
You know, but I think that yeah, man. Yeah, we ain't gotta talk more about that. It's
Yeah,
just him, man.
yeah, because at the end of the day, most of his accolades is based off them winning. You know, they were the top seeds, or they was getting a lot of wins that year, because 2017 is a lot of they won a championship. Like, most of his accolades comes on the year of the championships.
Mm-hmm.
Him being an
Yeah.
all-star is based off of the record.
Yep.
You know what I mean? That's the only team that was getting like 4 people in at one time.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? So, nah, man. He gonna get in, but whatever. I can care less though. You know what I mean? What
Mm-hmm.
else we got? Well, you know what? Let's get down to it, man. Let's go to the NFL, man. Stephon Diggs, not guilty. Not guilty of,
Not
Not
guilty. Y'all
guilty.
gotta fiddle me.
Not guilty.
and this was actually
I
a quick court case too. It only
That's a
lasted
quick.
2 days.
That
Yeah.
they got an in and out of there, man. Bank robbery. I
So
thought that. Go ahead.
he was found guilty of strangulation and of assault.
Not
His
guilty.
chef, not guilty. His chef, he had a relationship with her, and it was over, I guess, over a money dispute, and she filed charges against him for strangulation and assault, which they found out to be not true, and they pretty much found out it was just all about a money dispute. So how do we feel about these NFL players? Well, let's just talk about Stephon Diggs now. But how we feel about this situation with how he put himself in this situation.
Steph, man, Stephon Diggs is a savage, man. I think it's so many stories about him, and like chicks, you know what I mean, and just like his reputation when it comes to that. I remember this is an old video. I think he still was on Minnesota, and it was like one of those things, like one of those TikTok trends where somebody goes in the locker room with their teammate to say who's the one player that you wouldn't let date your sister or something like that, and everybody on that team. This is when he was still in Minnesota. Everybody is like Stephon, but still like everybody said like he got this reputation when it comes to chicks. I don't know what it is. If he a super duper freaky dude, I don't know. Pause, but it ain't no secret about him, man. And like when it comes to this situation right here, everybody called the chef with the BBL or whatever. I don't know if he bought her the BBL or whatever.
Yeah, that shit was
But
dumb fat too.
yeah, it was. Yeah, it
Hey,
was.
listen,
Yo,
they gotta
I
call a
think she's
spade.
an old. She's
Spade
older.
look
She's not
like
a young
yeah.
chick neither.
I don't think
He's an
so.
older chick, yeah.
Yeah. She a little older. You know what I mean?
She was
So
like living in the house too. I think.
How D wants to say peace out, man.
Hot
Um,
Dizzle.
Peace down for French toast.
uh, tonight, man.
Why is it so cold down here?
I'll turn the AC on.
Oh, turn it off.
All right, bro. But yeah, man.
He's
I
had that.
think
He had
that
that reputation since high school too.
I saw that too.
Yeah,
Yeah, like they say, like he was doing something in the mop closet or something like that.
yeah.
He was knocking them down in there. Like so, one of his high school classmates said that he used to be wilding in high school. You know what I mean? So like, I don't know. Some people, man, like yeah, they got deviants, man. I don't know. I ain't gonna put that, whatever. But what you said, like, but I think that these athletes, man, is like, man, like all you got to do is just lock into your career, man. I'm not saying you can't have fun. Like, man, that's part of the gig, man. You go ahead and have fun, do it. But you got to understand, and I know we kind of see it as being outsiders, people who not celebrities and can look on the outside in, except for Mr. Gaston. But
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like we can see that like why, you got to be careful how you deal with these chicks because they have an agenda. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And whatever seems okay in the beginning is all once the relationship comes to an end or you want to end it or you ready to move on,
Yeah.
they ain't gonna be with it, man. And they gonna try to bring you down or get something out of it before they can end it, man. And you gotta have some stuff in place, man. So I don't know.
And also like with you with the football players being like the breadwinners and possibly not the breadwinner because not a relationship, but someone who can fund their life. They're trying to get this to continue. So that's why I see you see a lot of these
Mhm.
cases like when things or when people are cutting ties or whatever. Now I'm going to sue. Now listen, if something happened to her. Then she was done wrong for not for things of not being able to convict him, whatever. I don't know. But they proved them not guilty, whatever. But you have a lot of these cases where females will say, this person did this to her or they suing for this after it's over because they don't like the way things end because their lifestyle is about to go back to what it was. The money has been cut off, right? So you have a lot
Mhm.
of these allegations. On another aspect of it, some of these football players, right? These football players who have been standouts since Pop Warner, right? They have had people around them who has um, shielded them from getting in trouble, even though they have done things that was wrong, right? Because of their
Mhm.
talents, and you and as you get more and more successful and you get better and better at your craft, yet your characteristics never change. You never been held accountable for nothing, so you think you're going to continue to get away with things, and it just continues. Right? And now you add millions of dollars to it. I'm above the law now. I'm gonna do what I want. Like I know. I don't even view women as women. I'm viewing them as just something to do. They just objects. So they get caught up, mistreated and things like that. And you just have people who like. I wouldn't be surprised if 5 or maybe even like next year he's in the news again. Like I wouldn't put it past him because who's holding him accountable? He's just beating charges. They've been like this. They've been saying the stuff is going on with him since high school, and I don't know if that's true or not. But he has never really been held accountable for this stuff. So until you
So
get them,
wait
yes,
a minute. So you think he did? So you think he did something wrong?
I think something happened. I don't think he's in it. Like even like I don't know if he actually choked her out or anything like that. But I don't
Mhm.
see him as somebody who treats women at a high level with respect. I don't, that hasn't been the stigma attached to Stephon Diggs.
Mhm.
That is almost like
You don't think she signed up for whatever it is that she did? Like she didn't go in here thinking that she was supposed to be in a relationship. You think
I,
she was like kind of misled or something?
or
I'm
mistreated.
only asking that
Or,
because I'm
mistreated in
only
that
asking that
relationship.
because
I think they could have
okay,
had
all
something.
right.
I think they could have had something that's mutual, and they agreed upon. But then she was mistreated in that.
Because she said it, and because I saw some of the clips from the court. She was saying that, like I guess when whatever she, why didn't she call the police or put certain things in the police report? And she was saying, oh, because I was ashamed that he was in a high profile relationship with Cardi B. So, all right, you knew he was in a relationship. You
Mhm.
knew he, had other chicks. You knew whatever, and you actively was in your own relationship with him. She was talking about getting him a birthday present after the supposed time that he choked her out and all the stuff. Like there was a lot of stuff that went on in
Yeah,
that court case in the last 2 days that just made her look
yeah.
crazy. You know what I mean? And I, it, it could be some cases where he didn't treat women right. I think
Mm,
in this case, based off what I was seeing in that court case, she came off trying to get over on
trying
him
to get
and
him.
trying to get
Mhm.
something out of it when it was over, and she couldn't accept that. And I think that's the case in a lot of situations, man. But
You
mm,
know what he did
Who
wrong? You know what he did
she
wrong? He kept everything. You can't mix business and pleasure.
she
You
lived
just
there
can't.
too, right?
You know what I mean? She lived there. She was the personal chef. She was doing. It was too much going on. You can't do all that under the same roof. You know what I mean? And I guess that goes along with being a celebrity figure. You got money. You just don't care about the principles about things that men should know. But at the end of the day, you can't be asking for collard greens and hitting the yams at the same time. Like,
At
come on, man.
the, I like
Come
that one.
on.
so
I like that
so I
one.
and I yeah, that was nice. That was slick. And so
I like that
I'm
one.
I'm thinking I'm putting myself in his mind as a athlete, a star athlete, not married, single.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, single. That's the
No,
biggest
well,
thing.
was he really single at the time? Wasn't he
Very
dealing
single.
with Cardi B
You're
at the
not
time?
married. You're not married.
Not married, but
It's,
yeah, involved. He was involved.
Hey, hey,
you can say you're in a relationship,
hey,
sure, but you're not married. You know what I mean? So, but let's just say, for whatever sake, you can say that. And you saying it's not good to mix business with pleasure. We saw the chef. We saw the assets.
yeah.
She had a fat ass. She had a fat
No,
ass, bro. Just go
you're
ahead and
not
say it,
dipping the
so just
dab
go ahead and
yourself.
say it, so.
Nah, not under the same roof. I can't.
Yeah,
I
you
can't.
can't be hit. Yo, no. I think he wowed out by even letting her live there. Like, what? Like, why does she gotta live there? You pay her good
Yo,
enough.
Because
I
he
She get
wasn't
a
can't.
permit.
cracking.
I, I
Yeah,
can't do that. I can't do
that's
that with somebody.
I think it was a mutual agreement that like, yo, I'm gonna pay you as my chef, but we got this thing going on, and when I come home back from joints or whatever, like like you
No.
said, the collard greens and the yams, man. Like
But the
I'm
thing
gonna get
is,
a taste of that.
anytime something can go wrong, and I'm pretty sure they had an argument or something, but previous to all this. You cooking my food. You might be spicing my junk up, man, messing up all type of junk to my food. I could be eating all type of nasty crap. I
Chaz,
can't do it.
they said she made for dinner one day. She made hot dogs. He made that damn position up so he can keep her in the house. This is high level tricking that we
That's what I'm
talking about.
saying.
This is high
That's what
level.
high level tricking. The highest level tricking and he paid her to stay there and crack whatever he wants to, and she was okay with it. And that's what I'm saying. I don't think that, and this is just based off what I was hearing in the courtroom and all that stuff, and how like I'm not about to let her get off there and play the victim. You know what I mean? She knew what she signed up for. You know what I mean? Now, should he have signed her up for it? Everybody's saying no. You know what I mean? I think this probably happens more often than we think, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, whether it's a nanny, whether it's a cook, whether it's the gardener, whether it's the driver. So, and if you got somebody, if you ain't hiring somebody ugly as shit or the same sex, and and you're single, some shit gonna happen eventually.
Yeah, I agree. You know what I mean? I just say that if you're gonna hire these people to do these things, they can't live under the same roof with you, man. They gotta go home. They gotta go home.
Hey
And
man, you got that big 14-room mansion, man. Might as well go down the hall. You ain't bothering me. But when I wake up, I want my eggs, pancakes, and turkey bacon, man.
it must be nice to have that type of money to make any old type of decision you want and just don't care about the consequence.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because
man.
I would care. I'm sorry. You know what I mean? You got your family coming to your house, kids coming to the house. Nah, it's too much going on for me, man. I can't do it, man. I'm sorry. I just
Yeah.
can't. But it is what it is. Look
Yeah.
like Maul having some technical difficulties right
I
now.
mean, while he figured that out, man, we could talk about this Spirit Airline stuff that's going on in these airports,
Oh
man.
man. Hey man, it was about that time. You know what I mean? Everybody was talking bad about Spirit for all these years, talking about they ain't got this and they ain't got that. But guess what? You ain't got no damn Spirit planes anymore, man. Spirit is now officially shut down. Oh, he's back. Mr. Jackson's back.
That's what happened. As soon as I said high level tricking, they got me up out of here.
Yeah, man, you can't be exposing the secrets, man.
High level tricking,
You
man.
can't be exposing the secrets.
We're
We
just
talking
talking
about the
about
Spirit shutdown.
yeah. We're talking about the Spirit, man. You got a ticket? You got
No,
turn the
but
camera too.
then it was going this way.
There you go.
There you go.
Okay. No, I ain't got no ticket, but I did. I was listening to several people who they talking about they were stranded actually. Got to the airport, walking to the thing like to get on the plane. It was like nobody's working today. And people people
Wow.
couldn't get home. They didn't get refunded like like $1,500 flights with no refund and was stuck there, had to get other, calling family members to get a new ticket for another airline just to get home. And that's crazy. I think they were looking for government bailout, and didn't get it.
Yeah.
They just said that they was kind of like hemorrhaging money and things like that. But I, I mean, everyone always had complaints about Spirit. I think I might have flew on Spirit once or twice, and it wasn't a good flight, man. Like it seemed like the seats are metal, and it's like Con Air on that bitch, man. So, but yeah,
Nick
What?
Cage, huh?
I didn't have a bad experience though. I did it to when I went to Jeff Wetton. I went right to I did a turn and burn too. I went to Myrtle Beach, flew down and flew back the next day. But it wasn't a bad experience. You know what I mean? I guess because I didn't have much to
first
carry and stuff like
class,
that. I just had a book bag.
first class, first class.
No, Yeah,
They don't
Spirit don't
have
have no
first
first
class in
class.
Spirit, right?
Yeah, and there ain't no
That-
first class on Spirit. Just like Frontier. There ain't no first class on Frontier.
Well, you know,
It just,
maybe for you, maybe for you, maybe
it
for
just
you.
yeah,
oh, you sit in
that's
the
what I'm
front.
asking.
That's all. That's it. It ain't no first class. Nah.
He was flying the plane.
Nah.
I gotta be the only black guy that never rode a Spirit before. I never took a Spirit flight before. I
And
only
I don't
heard the
know
stories, man.
how they go
I, I,
bankrupt though. They you
for what
charging
I
for everything.
understand, Charles, for what I understand, there is no room at all for somebody like me. Like as
No,
far as seating,
no.
like
Oh yeah.
so like
Nah.
I never did it, and it sounded like I wouldn't have been able to, especially not nothing long. Pause.
Yeah, nah. Those flights are usually smaller flights. And they compact the seating and stuff like that. You wouldn't have a good time with that. Because I
Mm,
know with
No.
Frontier, it's kind of small in there too, but they have areas where there's more space.
right.
You
Exit
know what I mean?
doors and all that stuff.
Yeah, that, and even in the front, like the first maybe 4 seats in the
Uh-huh.
front, you got extra space right there. So you know what I mean. But you got to pay extra. Same thing with Spirit. You got to pay extra for everything, man.
Everything.
You
That's
got
what
to
I'm
pay
saying.
extra to.
Like how did they even go broke? You paying for everything extra.
Yeah, I guess ain't a lot of people flying on the airlines. I guess.
Mm.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
man.
Yeah,
So,
So
well,
I mean,
but,
I think like they was asking for a government bailout. They didn't want to, Trump. He said he was thinking about it, but I guess he ain't want to do it. From what I understand, they offered to buy them out, but they wanted to like kind of have 90% control, like the government, and they was
yeah.
going to make it they was going to militarize it
yeah,
and use it to transport military situation. So it wouldn't
Fentanyl.
have been a thing. So like it would have been something else after that. So I don't know. This is an airline who has the most minority pilots and workers through against all other airlines. From what I understand, JetBlue is also something that might be going bankrupt soon.
hmm
I like
So something
JetBlue.
going on in these airports and these airlines. I like JetBlue.
I like JetBlue. It
I've
was
always
cool.
had good experience on JetBlue
I never
and
flew.
United.
I never
Those are
flew JetBlue. Never did.
JetBlue's cool. JetBlue's cool. So
What you fly?
yeah,
Emiratis?
I don't know, something going on.
You was flying
You
Emiratis?
said what?
That what's that?
I
Emiratis? Which one?
I don't. I don't even know what that is.
Emirates,
The Emirates, Emirati, whatever you call it. The one that go to Dubai and back in
No,
45 minutes or
uh,
something like that. I don't know.
oh,
Whatever.
no. That's uncalled for. That's uncalled for. That's
it's kind
uncalled
of
for.
I
yes
never
or no
flew.
answer.
Never. I never flew first class. Never ever.
I never flew first class neither.
Me neither. And it's funny. I never even got the offer to get. I sat next to somebody who got offered to go up to first class,
Oh,
but
that's
I
some
didn't.
bullshit.
Yeah, yeah. I
No,
was.
don't ask the nigga sitting next to me. You better go back behind me because I'm hating.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah,
they
definitely
asked to
hating.
do because when I went to Nashville, on the way down, the dude that was sitting next to me, they was like, before we took off, he was like, "Oh, you're eligible to go up to first class. Do you want to take it?" And of course, they're gonna say yeah. And he took his ass right up there.
I'm like,
My
yeah.
my
I
next trip,
never
I'm
get
gonna
nothing
fly
like
first
that.
class though. My next trip somewhere, I'm flying first class. That's for sure.
You do that all the
Now,
time, anyway.
probably no, I did. I don't think first
I
class is
flew
in
before. He was in.
Yeah, row
He was in the back like
76B.
everybody else.
76B is definitely not like first class.
No,
It can't be.
no.
Unless you in the
I can't
jungle.
even put. No, I'm in the ones with the last row where you can't even move your seat back. I've been there before, and you just
Oh, you
you
can't
just up
move your
against the
seat back
wall.
because it's a bed.
Ah,
Because it's a
yeah,
bed there.
okay.
That's why.
I'm going first class.
You know,
If
it
we got
must
to
be.
take another Jamaica trip, I'm gonna be drunk before I land. I'm tell you that now.
Mm.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that was a cool trip.
Yeah, that was cool. We need to go. We need to go
That's
back,
cool.
man. Take Mr.
Yeah,
Gasson.
but
Come on, come on now, Mr. Gasson.
Uh,
what we
I
got
don't know,
now?
bro.
What we got now?
But yeah, we got Dr. Cheyenne Bryant is trending, tearing up these internet streets because of she was on the Joe Button podcast and she stated that she does not have a license for therapy or anything like that. She is the life coach. And she said that she does that because she doesn't want you to be licensed. That's only for billing, you know what I mean, to charge the insurance companies and stuff like that. So a lot of the therapists and a lot of people that's in the mental health field are responding to that. They were saying
Right.
that she pretty much doing a scam because she's harming the community by not having a license and giving out, trying to consult with people or coach people and stuff like that. So, but she responded and she said, "Hey, on my website, I never said I was licensed. I never said I was a therapist. I always said I was a life coach." So a lot of it's going up in arms right now. A lot of people are even questioning if she's a doctor at all. That she has a doctorate and stuff like that because it was from a college that is no longer existing right now. So you know what I mean? I
I
know
bet.
you two
Okay,
brothers.
where she went? Where she went to Uppsala?
I'm about to say, Upsala College and shit.
Yeah, it's called Arglo or something like that. Argo. Yeah.
Emperor Argyle, huh?
Yeah.
Uh, so like I saw that too, and for myself, it was a very interesting. I've seen the mental health community, kind of speak out about it. I am a partially uh, licensed therapist that's looking to be fully licensed by the end of the year. Not even end of the year, by the summertime, hopefully, God willing, inshallah. And if that becomes, it's you know with vigorous testing, studying before the testing, and looking to do that, and that would be for myself an accomplishment. For people who've done it, a big accomplishment. And yes, you know what I mean, like that gives you the option to be able to do so much with that license. And as far as and helping people with their mental health, or helping people, whether it's a marriage counselor, whether it's you know clinical psychologist, or whatever. We can talk all day about it, and why people are probably feel a certain type of way is because it's like, yo, you're taking the easy way. You know what I mean? You can get on these internet waves and kind of talk around the fact, but you're not doing it the hard way. Now, people who think that she's not a doctor because of it, you could be a doctor and not licensed. So like you can still be a doctor if you got your PhD or something like that, but not take a test and become licensed. So you could do that. And you can call yourself whatever you want to. You can kind of separately bill people or charge people for certain services if you want, but I personally don't. As somebody who's in the field, who's looking to be licensed, I don't have a
Mm-hmm.
problem with what she's doing. You know what I mean? First of all, it's hard as hell to get licensed, and yes, you are held, accountable by a board.
Mhm.
And it's you can a misstep here and there, you can lose that. So if she has worked her way through the internet and through, reputation to become a life coach and can charge somebody for that service, then by all means do it. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna hate. You know what I mean? I think she's found the way. Just because she's not licensed, but she is a doctor, is it make her advice or her feedback or whatever that she's gonna give any less than somebody who is licensed? She can probably steer somebody in a better direction than somebody who's been licensed for years. Who knows? I don't know. So long as they get the job done, those people who work with her or are satisfied with the services she provides, I personally don't have an issue, but not everybody can do what she's doing.
See, I got see. The thing is, or how I look at it like this is
Long
that
as she's not being misleading,
yeah, and
that's
thing
all
is,
I'm gonna say. If she's a doctor, she's technically a doctor. She can say, "Hey, this is Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, and I am a life coach." She can do that. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with that. Now, if she's saying, "I'm Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, and I'm a clinical psychologist," and you're not, like that's a problem. You know what I mean? So as long as she's not being misleading, I don't have a problem with it.
but that's the problem there too, is that she's leading with Dr. Bryant. And
She's a
then,
doctor.
yeah, I understand that. But for people who are not knowledgeable into the whole thing, they are assuming that she's already everything with license and all that stuff. So they're gravitating to her because of that. Now, I say this, you know what I mean? And you gave good points, is that, but I think for the internet space, and if people are looking for services through the internet and social media and based off of followers, they need to do their research. You know what I mean? If you're gonna go to get help from somebody, you need to do your research. You need to find out if this person
This
is
is a fast. This is a very
for
fast
someone
time.
that is good for
I work
you.
in Clayton now.
You know what I mean? If that person is not licensed
Huh?
and you're looking
I
for
was in
someone that's
Clayton. It was
licensed,
a very
then
fast
you
shift.
need to move on.
But we left
You
a
know what I
little
mean?
later
But
because we had to do
she
things
could
because there's
possibly
someone
be
coming
who
in
that was
tomorrow
for
to
you.
inspect.
But if
I
not,
hope it does that.
who knows?
Hey, Sue,
You know what I
muted.
mean? So, oh yeah,
Sue, muted, Sue.
You can still hear me?
Yeah,
You can hear me?
yeah.
yeah, we heard everything what they were saying.
Oh, okay, well, my bad.
But like I was saying, I'm like, if she's a doctor, if she's leading with a doctor and people not doing their research, they're going to assume that he has a license. So the thing is that people
Yeah.
need to do their research, I was saying. And if they're not doing their
Yeah.
research, then they need to find someone who is what they're looking for. She could be giving out the good information. I don't know. You know what I mean? I'm not a licensed therapist. I'm not a therapist at all. She could be doing what she could just be doing some great things, but I don't want people to be confused on if she's licensed or not and being held to a standard
Yeah.
by a board and being protected by a board. You know what I mean? So that's the only issue I got. Other than that, she could do whatever else she want to do, but people just need to do their research.
I got an issue with it. I'm gonna tell you now. You like that's almost like being blessed into something. Like this is a very, very for me, this is a very, very serious feel. Right. And I think people need to, when looking for services, don't be celebrity based, right? And letting that be the motivating factor. Like you say, like looking at followers and things like this. Oh, they posting a bunch of stuff. Oh, this person must know what they're talking about. No, when you are as somebody who is partially licensed as well, um, we look at we look at we look at life through a different lens, right? Like we don't look at things the same as other people, and that's because we're trained to look at things this way. I have I'm closing in on 3,000 hours of supervision and went to get my master's, and it's like there's a certain level of work that's been put in to actually be able to provide a service for people that's in need. Any type of violation of this type of stuff is really just like how doctors, if they do a surgery and they mess things up, this is malpractice. Like I can actually do that with helping somebody. If you're not official, if you haven't went through the steps on becoming officially a doctor, officially a therapist, whatever, then you are increasing the risk at malpractice. That's how I look at it now. If she went and got certifications, because some people take other routes besides the routes that we took in terms of going to get your master's and studying long hours for this exam. Some people go and get certificates and things like that, and do a great job. But I'm just saying, like, if you are just putting it out there, hey, I'm Doctor This, or I'm a life coach and I know this because of my celebrity and I've been through things, then I think you're misleading people. And as somebody who like it's almost like, listen, I've been a part of this community and put in this much work and this many hours to become what I am to serve people. And then for somebody to come in on fame or celebrity or a blue check and be able to do what I'm doing, I'm going to take kind of like offense to that. And also I'm worried about the people that they're serving, wondering if they're doing them a disservice or not. Because it could be highly that they
So
are
we
if they're
so
not fully.
so so that's hate.
Yes, I just said it. Like I don't
So that's
care. Like
hate.
listen,
Because she took
it
the
could be
short,
for me.
because she took the shortcut.
I don't. Yeah, this
But
this is
but
this
but
is for
that's
me.
the
This is
thing.
something
I
real.
I think she took, and I agree with you, Maul, and I hear what you're saying, but she took a celebrity loophole, and it sounds like she's able to she kind of was able to formulate that into a lane for her. She did the hours, she did the schooling to become a doctor. So let's just assume that whatever it is that college she went to is legit. Let's just assume all that's legit, and she became a doctor. PhD. Maul, me and you've had this discussion. We said there ain't no way in hell we're going back to school to get our PhD. We did our masters. That's as far as we go. And she decided to keep going with it because whatever. So all right, you have that. You have that credential as a doctor. You can put that in front of your name. Now, as far as service about what you want, if you want to call it, is a difference between being a coach and being the actual counselor or therapist or
Yeah,
something like that.
coach, you
And
don't
if
need
she
you don't
is
need to be
called
licensed.
as long as she
No.
is calling herself a coach, there's no misleading. It is up to the person, like James
Yeah,
said, to do your research and understand the difference between a coach and a counselor, a therapist, and being licensed in these areas. So she's not doing
yeah,
nothing wrong. You know what I
yeah.
mean? It's just
I
she's
can go with
not.
that.
And
For
now
the
again, if she's saying that she's I'm a marriage counselor, instead of saying I'm a marriage coach. If she's saying I'm a parent, a family therapist, instead of saying or unless she's saying she's a parent coach. If she's using the right language in these things, she's not doing that wrong.
yeah,
And that's the shortcut, and it worked for her. And she's working smarter, not
yeah.
harder.
I
Yeah, I'm looking at her
I'm in
website
agreement.
now.
So that
No,
because the
I was
moment
saying I
that
was looking
you
at her website now.
get
She said she's a psychological expert and she's a life
so
coach.
so so
See
there
that?
you go.
See, she worded that. She worded that beautifully.
The moment you put no, that's not word of beauty. The moment you put expert, it you can't. This is not just like you got to go through certain steps to become an expert. Like an expert has passed these exams.
I think I'm a basketball I think I'm a basketball expert. I ain't never
You're
played in
not.
that damn league.
Well,
But I know the game because of a lifetime of watching and a big part of my life playing. I know it.
but
You know what I mean?
but
And
in this field, an expert comes with qualifications, not just hours or
she got some.
attention
She's a
to.
doctor.
Okay, but what is she expert of?
Listen,
Like what's the doctor in it? She could be a doctor in basket weaving.
psychological expert, you said?
Yeah, she's a psychology expert.
She ain't
And
say she's a clinical
And-
therapist. She ain't say she's
okay,
a
okay.
licensed therapist. She didn't say those things.
let me tell you, let me run down her services here. Virtual life coaching via FaceTime or Zoom,
I bet.
$350. A private wellness retreat, $500. If you want to book her to be a speaker or whatever, it starts at 500.
That's another one. That's another lane right there. Speaking
I know.
engagements. Go ahead.
Yeah. Telephonic life coaching, $350. Group life coaching. If you
she killing that shit.
Yeah, to do a group life coach, $225 per person in the group.
All three of us have
Office
done.
life coach, $750.
And she's not working with no insurance because she can't.
Yeah, because she
So
can't.
it's probably yeah.
Hey,
Now if
James,
she was somehow doing that shit, wrong.
how many years you did at the break?
Me?
Yeah,
4.
4. There is about 45 years between us right here in groups. Like I guarantee you, she can't run a group better than us. Like, but yeah, I mean, listen, shout out to her
I
for
think she
being able to
probably
get
could.
for being able to get her money.
I bet you she could, Paul. I bet
Well,
you she could.
I don't know if she could do. I don't know if she could do kids.
I'm about to
She
say,
probably.
yeah, like that part, because that's a whole different skill set. We none of us was licensed running groups with kids. You know what I mean?
No.
Like
Yeah.
we was doing that, playing clinicians as residential workers, and whatever. But because we had experience and whatever, we
Okay.
was able to
Okay.
do it.
I get
But
I get what you said. I get what you said.
yeah, like
But if I'm the
listen,
people, I would
I
want to
like the way
know
she
what
worded it. Like
it's definitely in the
I'm
wording.
just
It's
impressed.
in the wording.
I'm just impressed. I'm impressed by a lane that she was able to carve out without, because man, we know that freaking mall. I ain't putting your business out there, but we know how hard that
Oh,
test is. You know what I, and that's why you got a problem with it. That never mind.
yes, yes, yes,
Oh, never mind. Oh, that's like, yeah,
yes.
okay.
I
All right, never
was gonna get
mind.
to that, bro. As somebody who took this test multiple times, to see somebody thriving who didn't take it at all, you shitting me?
Okay. I see your issue with it now. Okay. Like, all right, cool.
Fuck,
All right, never mind.
fuck,
But
fuck
yeah,
her,
man,
fuck her.
it's she don't know that
Fuck that
pain,
damn
man.
lady.
Listen,
Yeah, man.
listen, that test is a motherfucker, man. That test is a I'm not looking forward to it. I gotta take it in a couple months, the next one, and I ain't looking forward to
Yeah,
it. But
but
hey, man,
How did she
what I
become a
would say,
celebrity?
because
that's a great question.
huh?
That's a great question. I don't know how did she become so popular.
Yeah,
I
how
don't
she
know.
become a celebrity?
I mean, first of all, the first test she passed, she's an attractive woman. You know what I mean? And like, so that's part of it. But
So
I don't know what gay. I don't know.
yeah, you can
You know
listen, man.
somebody else? You know somebody else who's not licensed?
Who?
Dr.
Ayana
Phil.
Van Zant, the one, the Save My
I
Life
fix my
lady.
life.
Yeah, yeah.
She's not licensed. Yeah, she's
Dr.
not
Phil
licensed.
Reed. Dr. Phil ain't licensed.
And I would have treated her
Dr. Phil.
like DMX
But
did.
he's probably a doctor. He's probably a
Yeah,
doctor, but he's probably not. And that's
she's
what
not
I'm
licensed.
saying. That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like, so listen, ain't nobody say nothing to Dr. Phil. Like, you know what I mean? Like, fuck it, man. Like, if you can figure it out, then
I
go ahead
would,
and do it, man.
yeah. But I mean, I think you just have to like get your certificates out, because you know what I'm saying, you playing with people's lives, and people are actually looking to you. They're actually making you a part of their week.
He's going
So
to hell with her, man.
yeah, I would say be thorough with that stuff, because I mean, it is
Do your
serious though.
research.
Like, yeah, for both
Absolutely. No,
parties. Like
but everything
if
you said, Maul.
yeah,
I
Yeah,
don't know.
I think
He get muted, so like that. No,
No, you good. Go ahead.
your audio had cut off, whatever. But everything you
oh
said,
my bad.
Maul, was on the money. On the money about the importance of being licensed, and the process it takes to go through it, and the accountability of being malpractice if you don't do it, if you lead somebody down
Yeah,
the wrong way, if you're not doing it the right way, and you're 100% right. And again, I'm doing it in the way that you're saying, so I get it, but I
Man,
I can appreciate that. I can appreciate the loophole, bro. I'm an admirer of anybody who can cut, who can make a good shortcut, because that's what I'm always I'm always trying to figure
it's
it out.
scams and everything, though. It's scams and everything. That's what I'm
yeah.
saying. Just do your
I'm
research.
talking about if you can do it in the right way, without no bullshit, without getting in
Yeah.
trouble. Oh man, teach me.
It's just
Teach me.
like
Yeah,
for us, it's just like, you know what I'm saying, when somebody passes this exam, right? when we hear about it, we in our agency, somebody passed the exam, you know what I'm saying? We cheer because we know what it took to pass it. It's not an easy exam. And we
Yeah.
also know that we also know the hours for the next one, licensed clinical, right? We know that you have went through a certain amount of hours, a certain amount of supervisions, um, a certain amount of dedication, personal time, sacrifices, and things like that have been put in place for you to pass this exam. Because you're talking about, like, you hear the number, James. You put out the numbers, right? I'm not shocked by those numbers. Like, those are really, that's some money right there. Um, I'm not shocked by those
Nah, these are
numbers. 'Cause those are,
flashcards. These
Oh,
are
oh, those
flashcards.
flashcards
flashcards.
that I gotta study.
Well, no,
Yeah,
well, yeah,
these
that's
are
the money. That's the
flashcards that
money.
I gotta
That's
study.
gateway. That's
It-
gateway to money. But
like
James, like the numbers that you put out there, that's the money that people can really get from being licensed, from being having certain certificates, having a certain amount of hours of doing things. So I think that, if you did that, you're deserving of that money. But if you had shortcuts and just and your fame is able to get it for you, then I'm definitely gonna have a problem with that.
Mm. Well, I know one thing. What people can do, they can research off the Parkway podcast in that damn search bar and like, subscribe, and comment
Yeah.
all the time. You know what I mean? This is episode 39.
Boom.
This is a great conversation with the fellas here, man. And if y'all don't know, man, these fellas right here are aspiring. They're good men, man. They're just trying to be the best of what they are in the therapy field, mental health field, and this is good content, man. They're giving you some good information. But until next time, we'll see you again. We'll be back.